Deepthi, do you have any questions? Any particular questions? Okay, great. So, Lavina, to start, you've asked an important question, and it's the basic question about ritual for people who don't know about this or never participated in one of this. These Vedic rituals are there from the Vedic times. Vedic times are there from thousands of years. So, in that text, what they talk about is whatever we sacrifice to the fire is the easiest way to reach to the celestial beings and the divinity. That is one easy route of connection between earth plane and the celestial plane. Like how we have a mobile phone tower or a radio transmitter, which is needed to send in information from our mobile phones to another person to communicate information. Fire is something like a channel of communication that is used and which is most effective from the earth plane to the celestial plane. And in tomorrow's ritual, that is the Makar Sankranti, what's going to be done is there, Pranjal is going to explain more about the astrological significance. So I will not delve into that aspect. But the general aspect there is it's about the sun. We're going to offer what the sun requires to appease the sun, to get the blessings of the sun, and the Navagraha. Navagraha is the 9 planets. Along with that, some of us have planets that are not so favorable, and that would be what is called not a benevolent planet, but not a malefic planet, but maybe causing some issues that we would like or we don't like in our lives, which are there for a purpose. Like, for example, for me, number 4 would be Rahu. So there's the energy of Rahu, which is affected from my date of birth. Similarly, based on the birth chart and the Rashi, which Pranjal would have dwelt if you have done astro reading, any one of you, you'll know which are the planets or whichever the dashas you're going through. Based on which phase you're going through, that particular planet will have more significance or will have an impact on your life, and to reduce that impact of those planets. So I think Rahu, Ketu, and Shani are the planets that are going to be appeased tomorrow in the ritual. So people who have these afflictions, who want to kind of appease these planets to say, okay, don't harm me too much. It's like, if there is somebody whom you find is troublesome, maybe you want to give them some food. Let's say it's a human being. You want to give them some food, something that they like, or give them a gift to kind of keep them happy. It's uh, like it's done in general life also. Like if it's an official, you want some favor of, you do something to the official or something like that. So yeah, you can give a bottle of whiskey, maybe cigarettes, or give them a party, whatever they like. Some now it's giving them mobile phones or sunglasses, various gifts. So similarly, through the ritual and the Vedic fire, the planets are appeased by giving certain offerings that they like, that is pertinent, which they like. And also during that, certain mantras are chanted because we need to invoke and make this connection for this transmission of the offerings to reach them. And that is where we need the pandits and the mantras to come in. And these are all, these mantras are learned by the pandits over years of training. It's not everyone who can do it. So it's past 5 years, some 7 years, some 14 years. So finding the right pandit who will do that is finding the right pandits who can talk about these mantras and chant these mantras appropriately is important. So in tomorrow's ritual, there'll be about 4 pandits who will be working on it simultaneously. So that is why it's like a group havan. It's not like a one person havan that can happen. And when more people are participating, they get the benefit of it. So individually, if each of us need to do it, then it takes more effort, more time and resources. And that's why when you have a shared ritual like this, it helps. Coming to the importance of the planets and the planetary energies, you must have seen ma'am's video where she talks about 1 to 9, each planet, what it has an effect. And so it's like gravity, right? You're on Earth plane, you cannot escape gravity. You can't see it, but some people will say, oh, I don't see it, I don't believe in it, but it exists. So if you work and use gravity to your advantage, it will be beneficial. If you try and fight gravity, you'll have to put extra effort to fight gravity and get. Same way with the planets in the solar system, they all have effects on us. We look, we believe in it or not, they have an effect. So we can either go for a headwind effect or a tailwind effect. So if you can try and use the this is where Pranjal will read the charts and suggest what planets are favorable, not favorable, and how to minimize that. So if we can get the planets to be favorable to us, that will be great. So how to get them favorable? That's your name correction. Then you're doing some uh, remedies that are given. It's about wearing your ring, which suits your planet, which, because this is something that's the ultimate, because it's there on your body, it's there all the time, it's getting into your aura, that helps. Then on these special days, you have these rituals. There are only certain days. I mean, tomorrow or day after are the best days to do this ritual. Doing it today or yesterday will not have the same effect. So there is a time and place, and uh, muhurat, as they call, or what do you say? Muhurat is like a certain time span during which you have the effect of this, which is amplified and you get the best fruits of it. And it's not the same when you do it at other times. It's like sowing seeds during rainy season or just after the rains in the fields is when you get the crops, because the soil is fertile, the water nurtures the seeds and you germinate, and the weather is conducive. If you try and germinate and try and put the plants and seed in summer, on a natural aspect, it's very rare, or the survival rate is going to be very low, unless you now have to set up a greenhouse and control the temperature and do that. Then that's so much extra effort. You can still grow in the summer or in the deserts like they've done in Israel and also in UAE and Dubai, but that's the extra work that needs to go on when you are fighting the natural systems and the natural effects of planets and other aspects that go on. I noticed that Deepthi said, Lavina, does this help answer
Yes,
your question?
yes,
Okay,
certainly. It at least gives the gist of what exactly it is now.
right. So that's
Yeah.
the
Thank you.
advantage of doing
Yeah.
these.
Thank you.
Welcome. So there are also different Vedic rituals that are done in different times of the year, like during the Navratri is done. That is for Durga, and that will be for the energies of the female goddesses, where somebody wants to get victory over evil, so, or a court case and things like that. So there's another time, I think, when they do Lakshmi Puja, so that's to invite more wealth. So at each Vedic ritual, there will be different aspects that one can choose that they would like on their in their life, that they would like to bring in and then take it on. Okay, great. So we go to the next question is from Dipti. I don't know if it's more for Pranjal or for me. I have Saturn Mahadasha going on now. Getting Saturn special puja is enough, ma'am. Getting Navagraha puja also necessary. So, so yeah, Navagraha puja is for pleasing all planets. So the, it's like um, all planets are at some point favorable or not favorable or neutral to us. So when you get a chance, if it meets your budget, I would always recommend at least once a year to get your Navagraha puja done, so that it appeases your planets. So it depends on uh, which time of the year, which one you would choose. And for people with the Mahadashas, yeah, the more number of appeasements you do, the more likely that that planet will be more favorable to you or less malefic to you and less hindrance. So if there is a way to kind of reduce the impact, why not? It's something like, it's going to rain, take an umbrella or wear a raincoat. So if you ask me, should I take only an umbrella or a raincoat? I would say the best is both, because the umbrella will protect you from the top and raincoat will protect you from the side. You can also have boots so that it protects your feet. And then you can also wear warm clothes on the inside. So each aspect that is done every time is adding one more shield, one more layer to help you warrant that and help you overcome that situation which is not so favorable or which is harsh. Similarly, if it's sunny and you're walking in the desert, you'll again take an umbrella. You might wear some loose clothes. You might wear shoes that is more comfortable, and water, maybe other things that will help you cope the heat. So it's like that. So with the planets, we don't have something that is tangible that we don't feel like how we can feel for the weather. So that's where your astrologer can help you, and others who can talk about the impacts of the planets. They can tell you what are the things and what are the additional remedies. So the more remedies you do, the better the chances are that you will reduce. And for some people, the impact will be high. Some people, the impact of the planets will be low. So depending on that, you will want to also calibrate your remedies for that. Deepthi, does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay. So what have you decided?
No, I've already taken Navagraha and I just pinged Pranjal. How will we know whether we need to take up Saturn Mahadasha? So she told me
Right.
that currently it's going on.
Right.
So,
So the thing is, in Vedic rituals, everything is elective, right? So it's not a must for anyone to do anything, but whatever is useful, whatever is permissible and feasible for you is better. So more the merrier, but not too much, I guess. So in that aspect, with that, I will end my part of the speech, and then I'll give it to Pranjal, because also the azan is going on. So maybe I'll go listen to that for some time. Hold on.
thank you, sir.
Pranjal's welcome, welcome. Have a good time. Pranjal's directing me to switch off the video. So I have to do that. She's my boss now. Yeah. In this call.
All right. Hi guys. How are you all? Okay,
Hi,
okay.
Pranjal.
I'll remove the. Wait, let me just fix the background first. Otherwise, my hair look all chapta chapta, you know, with the hair background being blurred. All right, guys. So as V has beautifully explained that, you know, why Vedic rituals are important and why planetary rituals are very, very important, because it's very important to, you know, satisfy all the planetary needs as well. Okay. So as he was saying that in why Navgraha Puja is important is to
But tell the importance of
the day.
how planets affect you
All right.
in general life.
All right. All right.
Whether in your numerology or astrology, how planets impact us.
All right. So I'll take Saturn as an example about how planets affect, because tomorrow is Makar Sankranti, okay? And nothing better than Makar Sankranti to explain why Saturn is so important. Okay, when you have a bad, so Saturn is generally a planet which helps in our career, okay? And it is the planet which delays a lot of things for us, okay? Come what may, Saturn will cause a delay. Come what may, Saturn will take your karma tests. Come what may, Saturn will take you through that process of, you know, whole grinding through that. आपको एक पूरा karma grinding से लेके जाएगा, and then only you are going to get something. Okay, so that is why it is very important to whenever you are afflicted by Saturn, be it in number like number 8 people, whoever are number 8 here will definitely vouch for that things do come to them, but at a very, very long time. Like it comes to them after a long struggle or a long process. Okay. So, and also Saturn is a number which will, Saturn is a planet which will show that, you know, abhi sab ho jayega. But when it comes to the end result, it's not actually delivered. So Saturn is that type of a planet. Anybody going through Mahadasha at this time, like all people who have Makar as their Rashi right now are inflicted by Sadesati, including Dhanu. Okay. So Dhanu, Makar, all these people are going through their Sade Sati phase. I am also one person who is going through a Sade Sati phase. So for me, if you see things I do get things, but I have to I have to struggle a lot to achieve that. Who else is going through Sade Sati who I know that is there in this call? Okay, I think Tina is also a number 8 person, if I'm not wrong. Also, when you go through a Saturn phase, everything goes onto a delay mode by default. Like by the universe, universe बोलता है कि अच्छा अब इनका Saturn phase चल रहा है ना, अभी हम एक delay mode पे डाल देते हैं. There is a scientific reason also for this. Saturn is the slowest moving planet of all planets if you consider. So usko chakkar kaat, to complete its rotation also it takes that much time, right? So in the same way, that's also one of the reasons that you have a lot of delays. So to negate that, it's very important that you keep your Saturn happy, and with Saturn there are other planets, but once you activate them, it helps to negate those effects, and that's where name correction helps you. And that's where ma'am says, to attract yummy energies in your planetary, attract yummy energies, you should get your name corrected, or you should definitely wear a gemstone at that space. Especially when I talk about planets of Rahu, Ketu, Saturn and Mars, these 4 planets, if you're going through any Mahadasha of these 4 planets, or these 4 planets are bad in your chart, or you're connected with these numbers because of your name and numbers. Like I am 9 and 7, so I have both Mars and Ketu's energy, and there are a lot of people who have Rahu and Ketu energy in their name. Okay, so whenever you're inflicted by these, especially these planets, you should definitely have you should definitely have something which is there. So Lavina has asked a very interesting question, that I am number 8, but in which Vedic ritual she has asked. Wait, let me read her question so that it is benefited for everyone. So for number 8, which Vedic ritual should be done? So if you have not, Vedic ritual should be done in concurrence with your astrological chart as well. Okay. So for people who have already got their chart read, I have already recommended them that this is the main Vedic ritual that you should be doing along with a Navgraha Shanti Puja. But if they have not done any astrological reading or anything, if he or she is an 8, should definitely get a Saturn Vedic ritual done or get it checked. We can do a basic check for them about what other planetary ritual they can do. Okay, so that is there. And planetary ritual, when it comes to Navgraha Shanti, everybody does it once in a year. That is a mandatory thing that you should be doing. Even if somebody goes, does if a lot of people have done Graha Pravesh Puja, I'm sure. Without Navgraha Shanti Puja, they don't do Graha Pravesh as well. So any good thing that you do, it is with Navgraha Shanti. So this is, and 14 January being the first important, most auspicious day of the year makes it even better. Does anybody has a question? Okay, I thought somebody had a question. All right, so 14 January, why it is so important? Because it is the first auspicious day of the entire, of the start of the year, basically. Although as per Hindu calendar, we still have little time, but if we see 2022, this becomes the first auspicious day. It's the day of harvest for a lot of us. It's the day when sun goes into Makar Rashi. That's why it's called Makar Sankranti. And this year, from last 2-3 years, it is more important because Saturn itself is sitting in Makar Rashi. So when sun goes into the Saturn's house, it's like, and if somebody knows mythology over here, Saturn is the son of sun, like unka beta hai wo, okay? So it's like the father is going to their son's house, and it's the responsibility of the son to make his father in a comfortable situation. And since sun was very happy when he saw the grandness of Saturn doing so much thing, sun blessed Saturn that whoever does a ritual for you on this day as well, it will be very powerful, and I will be blessing them. And since it is Makar Sankranti, doing sun puja is also very, very effective, because the so there are a lot of avatar of sun in astrology or mythologically, if we see. So Aditya Hriday is the most powerful avatar of sun. And when you do that homa or when you do that puja, it gives you that power. It gives you that spirit of sun, which is very, 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 very powerful spirit of the sun. So that's why it's very, very important to do that homa. And you will see that a lot of people do sun puja on that day. So I know it's very, it may sound little, what do you say, thoda boring lagta hai sunne mein, but it's very important that we understand these little things, because then you'll understand why that puja is being done on that day. Any questions so far, guys? Any question, guys? Any astrological related question which I can answer here? I am happy to answer that today.
Pranjal,
Yeah.
do we have to get this astrological reading regularly, or is it once?
So it is always good to check your astrological chart after 6 months.
Okay.
Because transitions happen in that duration. This year, it's a very, very important year for all planetary transitions. So anybody who has not got their astrological chart read should get it read this year for sure. Because there are 3 major transitions that will be happening. So Devashish, for this type of question, I will have to check your other, he has asked what is the significance of sun being in the 5th house. So for this type of question, I will have to see your other planets as well. So it comes into a detailed session. But general question, if you have, we can definitely take it forward. All right, guys. So in any case, I'm sitting right here. I will introduce one more speaker on this forum, and let's hear from that speaker. Take your time.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Hi, ma'am.
Wait, I think I put-
Hi,
Hello,
ma'am.
Hi, guys. Hi, everyone. How's everyone
ma'am.
doing today?
How are you?
I'm doing awesome.
Your
Mera
glasses are
number-
super cool.
Sorry?
Your glasses are super cool. I loved it.
Yeah, मेरा number थोड़ा बढ़ गया है, so I had to get new glasses. Hi, everyone. And my hair has become much longer. Hi. Okay, so I'm going to address the reason why planets are important. A lot of people don't realize the importance of planetary rituals. If you've noticed, we've reduced doing the frequency of planetary rituals that happen on a weekly basis by Varun, because those are smaller ways to appease your planet. That's like getting, a sip of water every now and then. These rituals, and the reason we actually slowed that down is because we wanted to emphasize the importance of a Vedic ritual. For example, when you want to create something small, a small change, then doing the smaller planetary rituals, what Varun does, will help, right? But when you want to see a massive change, a Vedic ritual is done. And I've been doing this for years together. Like, I'm going to say at least 12 years. I've been getting Vedic rituals done for myself, my family for the last 12 years, even though I'm not so much into, I'm not so much into, I don't understand so much about how the Hindu gods function, what they do, the planetary Vedic rituals, how they work, because I focus on the aspect of, yantras. I focus on the aspect of why a stone helps you, why a name correction helps you, what planets cause you problem. But when you have afflictions in your chart, when you have minor transitions in your chart that cause havoc in your life, then a Vedic ritual helps you appease the effect of that planet. And I remember that last year, this time, we had got this ritual done. And, suddenly it felt like as if something had, something had kind of broken, because we do a lot of other energy work, right? But there's not much that we do for our planets. There are limited things that one can do to soften the blow of the planets on you. And a lot of times we don't do anything to, activate certain planets. For example, a Navgraha Puja does, kind of pleases all your planets. So when you do that, you basically are giving offering and you're pleasing Venus, you're pleasing Sun, you're pleasing Mercury, you're pleasing Jupiter, and each one of these good planets help you in some sort of a way. So the Navgraha Puja is important because you also want to honor and make friends and have a good relationship with the good planets that support you, and doing rituals specifically for the planets that bother you. For example, if you're a number 4, 7, or 8, then you want to do a Rahu, Ketu, or a Saturn puja. And like Pranjal said, why is the Sun puja important is because that day is when you basically make peace with Sun and Saturn. When Saturn is troubling you, on that particular day, when you do the Sun puja, basically Sun tells Saturn, abhi isko tang mat karo. So doing planetary rituals are important because they're like a shock absorber for things that are actually created on a planetary level. And that's why it's important. Appeasing your planets are like, planetary energies are like Vaishak said, is not something we can touch, feel, see, but it's like going with the current or swimming against the current. So when you get a certain planetary ritual done or a Navgraha puja done, even though it sounds like a general puja, it's not a general puja. It's actually for, keeping your planets at bay, keeping them at peace, having a good relationship with them. It's like having a good rapport with your neighbors. They don't trouble you. And especially you want to make peace with the bad guys in your neighborhood so that they don't cause you trouble. And at the same time, you want to thoda maska maru, fight the good guys who do good stuff for you. Let's say you have a cop in the neighborhood, right? You want to have like a really good rapport, maybe buy him dinner or something, or invite him home for dinner, so that, you're kind of in his good books. So when there are planetary transitions that happen through the year, you keep having, like in numerology, the planets don't transition, right? But in astrology, every day there's some kind of transition. Then every time there's full moon, new moon, there's some planetary transit. Every time planets are doing something different. And you can't possibly keep track of every single thing. So that's why a yearly puja is very essential, not just for yourself, but for your children, for your spouse, so that their life is smooth. For children, because when we're doing Navgraha puja, it also there's also appeasing Mercury and Sun and Jupiter, which is very important for their education, communication, intelligence, all of that. Okay, Tina has a question here. I'm going to read it out. At times, if we do these Vedic rituals, so there will also be a need to do certain remedies simultaneously. No, you don't have to do nothing is a must. When you start doing planetary remedies, like let's say there is some on a certain day, we're going to actually start having updates on what you can do for yourself, like, very, very cheap remedies, like, donate this on a certain day, or donate something else on a certain day, or light this particular lamp. We're going to start updating Vedic remedies, which will help you that you can do yourself. Apart from that, like now, let's say you started doing something for the planets and you started seeing a change. It's your choice if you want to continue or not. So you don't have to do the other remedies. It's a choice. If you see the effect, you can do it. If you don't see the effect, you can stop. There's no compulsion to continue doing it. And just because you did it this year, you don't have to do it next year. Isn't our physical presence mandatory during the puja? No, it's not. Every system has its way of accessing your energy. And in the Vedic system, they use your nakshatra and your gotra and your rashi to access your, basically, it's like a source code. Like when we do, rituals according to the Yoruba tradition, when I do rituals for removing roadblocks, like a road opener ritual or a black magic removal ritual or a spell removal or a binding removal or whatever, we need your DNA for that, right? But for Vedic rituals, we need your Rashi, Nakshatra and Gotra. If you don't have Gotra, it's fine, but Rashi and Nakshatra is very important. Some people don't know their date of birth, then you just kind of use their name. How soon can we see the impact of rituals in our life? I don't really know. Like, I have always seen the impact immediately, but I do it because it's created a lot for me. It's broken a lot of glass ceilings for me. It's broken a lot of barriers for me. I can definitely say it was after the Vedic ritual last year that, miraculously, because my elder son's visa was the most tough to get because of his passport and so many court documents that I required. I kept telling everyone it's just a long holiday we are here on. And after the Vedic ritual, when I did it for the entire family, I did all categories because I'm just, OTT, I'm over the top. So I go all out and do it for every category, for every, for every person, including Zubin, including Shian. And I'm not kidding. It was after the Vedic ritual that we actually got our visas and we could stay. So frankly, it's different for everyone. It also depends on the intensity, depends on, what your block is, but you're weeding out one block from the way, it's like saying you're going to take a salt bath. How soon is that going to show you effect? When I do BMR salt bath, or when I do a BMR, actually I make my own shower gel because I it's khatarnak. So I don't like using the soap anymore. I like using the shower gel because it's just so easy to use and I'm lazy. So when I do that, when I do JBB, I see a difference on the same day. Like, I walk out of my shower feeling like as if 2 kilos have been removed. And what do I say? It depends on how receptive you are, but planetary rituals is something, like I said, you can't touch, feel, or see. It just changes something in your life. You start to see things unblock. You start to see the grace of the planets on you. Any other questions, guys? There's no timeline that I can give you how soon you can see, or any guarantee that yeah, you will see a change. Everyone has a different way. Wait, I heard Surya mantra should be chanted 7,000 times. How is this achieved? So I'm not sure about what the pandits do in the ritual, but they're going to be 4 of them. This is a mega yagya that they're doing. It's a huge yagya that they're doing. That's why they needed 4 people to do it. And I don't know what their secret sauce is, as much as no one knows how I do my rituals. Even though they are sitting there during the entire ritual, people who volunteer in my rituals, they're sitting there, but they don't know how Papa actually comes into the room and how he leaves. And there's a temperature difference in the room when that happens. So every pandit has a different way of achieving that, I guess. And I don't really question that because that's not my domain. I don't know much about it, but I only focus on what am I getting from it, And the more people you really help with the way of planets, the planets bless you more. It's not just about, it's like acknowledging that, this planetary thing, this change helped me. Whether it's a numerology change that's also connected to your planets, whether it's a yantra that you wore, whether it's a stone that you wore, whether it's a yantra that you got to keep with you, whether it's an astrology puja or Vedic puja that you got done, any kind of change given by your planets, when you acknowledge them and, like when you appease your planets and thank them for it, or maybe talk to other people about it, it's acknowledging that they changed that for you. It's almost like, if you go out and tell people that, Sheila Bajaj's podcast helped me a lot. And that person comes back to me and says, so-and-so is so grateful that your podcast, and they recommended your podcast on LinkedIn, on their LinkedIn, and that's where I saw you. I'm obviously going to have, the next time you approach me, I'm definitely going to have a different way that I receive you. And, the way I contribute to you, because I know that you're out there contributing to other people there, right? So the planets do the same. When you are functioning from gratitude to a planet, to a deity, to anybody, you always receive more. You always get more contribution from them. I hope it answers all your questions, guys. Your physical presence is not important because we use your, I already answered that. we use your nakshatra rashi. That's how we access your soul record. Every system uses a different way. In healing, we use your picture. In Yoruba rituals, we use your DNA. In no, that's fine, Chandan. And in Vedic rituals, they use your rashi, nakshatra, and your name, because that rashi, that nakshatra, that date of birth, time of birth is specific only to that person. Like there cannot be another Chandan born under that date of birth, that time of birth, that place of birth, that rashi, nakshatra, and having the name Chandan, right? So that's unique to you. And I'm definitely gonna say that, you know, even though my mom doesn't know her date of birth, whenever we get rituals done, you know, the ritual is done only based on her name, and she's still seen a difference in her life. Like last year was a turning point for her. After 20 years of being into healing, she finally, you know, started offering healing to clients. Otherwise, she was only like doing healing for me and the kids and family. She never ever had that, you know, that I don't know, some kind of a barrier that she had, that, you know, I'm not going to heal clients. Like either it never occurred to her, or it was just a limitation and that was taken away. So everyone, it shows up differently in your life, and it does help even if you don't have your date of birth, but it's definitely more accurate when, you know, you have your date of birth. Okay, I hope I've answered everyone's questions. Name the numero change or real name. Sorry, I missed initial conference. Okay. It doesn't matter what name you give. In the Vedic ritual, they need your Rashi Nakshatra. That's more important. But yeah, you can give your numerology name. That should be fine, because that's your new energy and identity. Does anyone have any questions for Pranjal? Guys, any questions for Pranjal? Okay, everyone's clear. All right. It was nice to have everyone on this call. We will be doing monthly meetups, maybe weekly sessions where we can answer your queries, talk about a different topic every week. Different people will be leading it. And we're definitely going to schedule more meetups for the entire group, and we'll give you advance notice so that, you know, you're able to keep your calendar free for that. And thank you all. Dipti says, nice seeing you after really long. Yeah, I know it's been really long. I've been camera shy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not camera shy at all. I'm just, I don't have any excuse. All right. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.